Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are traveling into one of the most symbolic and culturally important modern coins ever issued by the United States, the Sacagawea $1 coin, a coin that represents exploration, heritage, Native American history, and a bold attempt by the U.S. Mint to reinvent circulating dollar coinage for a new generation. Because the story of this coin does not begin in the year 2000 when it was first released, but rather more than 2 centuries earlier. During the great westward expansion of the United States, when a young Shoshone woman named Sacagawea played a crucial role in one of the most famous expeditions in American history, the Lewis and Clark expedition, commissioned by President Thomas Jefferson after the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, an expedition that aimed to explore, map, and establish a route to the Pacific Ocean. And without Sacagawea's guidance, translation skills, and survival knowledge, the journey might have failed entirely, making her an enduring symbol of strength, cooperation, and cultural bridging, which is exactly why her image was chosen to replace previous dollar coin designs that struggled to gain public acceptance, especially after the Susan B. Anthony dollar failed largely due to its similarity in size and color to the quarter, leading to confusion in everyday transactions, and learning from that mistake. The U.S. Mint sought to create a coin that was instantly recognizable, visually striking, and culturally meaningful, resulting in the Sacagawea dollar's most distinctive feature, its golden color, achieved not through gold but through a manganese brass alloy that gave the coin a warm, golden hue while remaining durable and cost-effective. And when the coin was officially authorized by the United States Congress in 1997 and prepared for release in 2000, it marked a significant shift in American coin design philosophy, emphasizing modern artistry while honoring historical figures who had long been overlooked, particularly Native American women, and the obverse design was created by sculptor Glenna Goodacker, whose depiction of Sacagawea carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste captured a sense of movement, realism, and humanity that was unlike any previous U.S. coin portrait, showing Sacagawea gazing confidently into the future rather than facing rigidly left or right as seen on older coins, symbolizing forward progress and exploration, while the reverse design initially featured a soaring bald eagle surrounded by 17 stars, representing the number of states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition, tying the coin directly to early American expansion. And from the very beginning, the Sacagawea dollar was heavily promoted by the U.S. Mint, including partnerships with major retailers such as Walmart, where millions of coins were distributed to encourage circulation. Yet despite the strong launch and public curiosity, the coin still faced challenges in widespread daily use due to the continued popularity of paper dollar bills, a recurring issue for U.S. dollar coins throughout history. But even so, the Sacagawea dollar succeeded where others failed by becoming a favorite among collectors, educators, and historians. And in 2009 the coin underwent a significant transformation with the introduction of the Native American $1 coin program, which retained Sacagawea on the obverse permanently while changing the reverse design each year to honor the contributions of Native Americans to U.S. history, culture, and development, turning the coin into a living historical series that continues to evolve annually, making the Sacagawea dollar not just a piece of currency but a storytelling platform that connects modern America to its diverse roots, its exploration-driven past, and its ongoing recognition of indigenous contributions, setting the foundation for a coin series that blends art, history, and national identity in a way few other modern coins have achieved. The introduction of the Sacagawea dollar marked a major shift in how modern United States coinage attempted to blend history, representation, and everyday usability, as the coin emerged at the turn of the 21st century during a period when the U.S. Mint was actively searching for ways to revive the failing dollar coin concept that had struggled since the Eisenhower dollar and later the Susan B. Anthony dollar, both of which failed to gain public acceptance largely due to size, weight, and confusion with circulating paper currency. And it was within this context that Congress authorized a completely new dollar coin that would be golden in color, smaller in diameter, distinctive in appearance, and rooted in an authentic historical narrative that could resonate with Americans, leading to the selection of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who played a critical role in the Lewis and Clark expedition, as the central figure, making the coin historically significant not only as a monetary instrument but also as a cultural statement that recognized the contributions of Native Americans and women in U.S. history, something that had rarely been done on circulating U.S. coinage before. And when the coin officially entered circulation in the year 2000, it carried a bold visual presence with its manganese brass-clad composition that gave it a golden hue without containing actual gold, instantly distinguishing it from previous dollar coins while maintaining durability suitable for mass circulation. And the obverse portrait of Sacagawea was designed by sculptor Glenna Goodacker, whose artistic approach emphasized realism, dignity, and warmth rather than idealized symbolism, showing Sacagawea carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau on her back, a powerful image that represented guidance, survival, and maternal strength, while also serving as a reminder of the human dimension behind one of America's most famous exploratory journeys, and this design choice alone elevated the coin beyond a typical commemorative-style portrait, making it deeply narrative and emotionally engaging, while the reverse initially featured an eagle in flight designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., symbolizing peace and freedom, further reinforcing the theme of exploration and national identity. And although the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in the first year with high hopes that they would finally replace the $1 bill, public habits once again proved difficult to change, as Americans continued to favor paper currency despite the coin's practical advantages, causing circulation demand to drop sharply after the initial release. Yet despite this commercial setback, the Sacagawea dollar evolved into one of the most fascinating modern U.S. coin series from a numismatic perspective, especially after the introduction of the Native American $1 coin program in 2009, which retained the original Sacagawea obverse while changing the reverse design annually to honor different Native American contributions to U.S. history, education, agriculture, military service, and governance, transforming the coin into a rotating historical canvas that significantly increased collector interest and long-term cultural value, while production shifted primarily to collector-focused minting rather than mass circulation, meaning that many later-date Sacagawea and Native American dollars were never released into everyday commerce and instead sold directly to collectors in rolls, bags, and proof sets, which has made certain dates, mintages, and finishes far more desirable today, particularly among modern coin collectors who appreciate the series for its artistic consistency, educational storytelling, and symbolic importance, and when viewed in the broader context of U.S. numismatic history. The Sacagawea dollar stands as a rare example of a modern circulating coin that successfully merged historical authenticity, inclusive representation, and evolving design philosophy, ensuring its lasting relevance even if it never achieved the everyday usage originally intended. The Sacagawea $1 coin occupies a unique and deeply symbolic place in modern American numismatic history, representing a deliberate shift by the United States Mint toward inclusivity, historical recognition, and renewed interest in the circulation of dollar coins at the turn of the 21st century. And to truly understand its importance, one must look beyond the golden color and into the social, political, artistic, and economic forces that shaped its creation, because by the late 1990s the United States faced a recurring problem with its $1 coin programs, including the Eisenhower dollar and later the Susan B. Anthony dollar, both of which failed to gain widespread public acceptance largely due to size confusion, lack of visual appeal, and resistance from a population accustomed to the dollar bill, prompting Congress and the Treasury Department to explore a completely new approach that would not only distinguish the dollar coin visually but also tell a story rooted in American exploration and indigenous history, leading to the selection of Sacagawea, the Lemhi Shoshone woman who played a vital role as an interpreter and guide for the Lewis and Clark expedition between 1804 and 1806. A decision that carried immense historical weight because it marked one of the very first times a Native American woman would be prominently featured on circulating U.S. coinage, symbolizing guidance, resilience, cultural connection, and the often overlooked contributions of indigenous peoples to the formation of the United States, and this choice was not made lightly, as the Citizens Coinage Advisory Committee and the U.S. Mint evaluated numerous concepts before settling on Sacagawea with her infant son Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, a powerful visual that communicates themes of motherhood, survival, and exploration all at once. And when sculptor Glenna Goodacker was commissioned to design the obverse, she conducted extensive research, consulting Native American historians and using a modern Shoshone woman as a model to ensure authenticity, a process that added emotional depth and cultural respect to the final artwork, resulting in a portrait that feels alive and dignified rather than symbolic or abstract, while the reverse of the coin, designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., originally featured a soaring bald eagle surrounded by 17 stars representing the states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition, reinforcing the exploration narrative and anchoring the coin firmly in early American history. And technically the coin introduced a new clad composition of copper core bonded with manganese brass, giving it a distinctive golden appearance without using actual gold, a strategic choice intended to differentiate it clearly from the quarter and avoid the confusion that plagued the Susan B. Anthony dollar. And this composition also allowed the coin to remain durable for circulation while offering a visually appealing surface that caught light in a way traditional silver-colored coins did not. And when the Sacagawea dollar was officially released to the public in the year 2000, it was accompanied by one of the most aggressive marketing campaigns in U.S. Mint history, including partnerships with major retailers like Walmart and Cheerios. the latter famously including Sacagawea dollars in cereal boxes as a promotional giveaway, an event that would later become legendary among collectors due to the discovery of rare prototype reverse varieties now known as the Cheerios dollars, which feature enhanced tail feather details on the eagle and have since sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, illustrating how even a modern coin can produce extraordinary rarities when production experimentation intersects with mass distribution. Yet despite the strong launch and cultural significance, the Sacagawea dollar faced the same systemic challenge as its predecessors, namely public resistance to replacing the dollar bill, leading to limited circulation use and the eventual transition to primarily collector-focused minting after the initial years. But rather than abandoning the program entirely, Congress enacted legislation in 2007 that transformed the Sacagawea dollar into the Native American $1 coin program, beginning in 2009, which retained Sacagawea on the obverse permanently while rotating reverse designs annually to honor Native American contributions across agriculture, governance, military service, trade, and culture, effectively turning the coin into a storytelling platform that evolves year by year. And this legislative decision ensured the long-term legacy of the Sacagawea dollar while expanding its educational value, making each release not just a coin but a historical lesson in metal, and collectors quickly embraced this shift, as the yearly reverse changes introduced new design elements, minting variations, and thematic significance that added depth to the series, while maintaining continuity through the familiar obverse portrait. And from a numismatic standpoint, the Sacagawea dollar also represents an important chapter in modern mint technology, with improved striking quality, enhanced die longevity, and evolving surface treatments that reflect the mint's adaptation to both collector expectations and production efficiency. And although circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver are generally affordable, certain proof issues from San Francisco, especially those with special finishes or lower mintages, have gained attention in the secondary market, while error coins such as mule strikes pairing the Sacagawea obverse with unintended reverses, off-metal strikes, and die alignment errors have become highly sought after due to their rarity and visual intrigue, reinforcing the idea that modern coins are far from boring when examined closely. And culturally, the Sacagawea dollar stands as a corrective gesture within American iconography, acknowledging the role of indigenous women not as background figures but as active participants in the nation's defining moments, a message that resonates strongly in contemporary discourse around representation and historical accuracy. And even though the coin may not jingle in everyday pockets as often as intended, its impact is undeniable within museums, collections, classrooms, and the broader narrative of American money, where it serves as both a medium of exchange and a medium of memory, bridging past and present through design, legislation, and storytelling. And as the series continues to evolve, the Sacagawea dollar remains a testament to how coins can transcend commerce and become vessels of identity, heritage, and national reflection. The Sacagawea $1 coin enters its most fascinating and valuable territory when collectors move beyond the general history and design and begin exploring the world of rarities, key dates, unusual varieties, mint errors, and unexpected high-value survivors that quietly exist within this modern series. Because although many people still believe these golden-colored dollars are common and worth only face value, the truth is that specific Sacagawea dollars have become highly sought after by serious numismatists due to low mintages, experimental compositions, die varieties, and dramatic minting mistakes that escaped into circulation, beginning with the legendary 2000p Cheerios dollar, which stands as the most famous rarity of the entire series, originally included in boxes of General Mills Cheerio cereal as part of a national promotion before the coin's official release. And while millions of standard Sacagawea dollars were struck in 2000, only a tiny number of these Cheerios examples were produced using prototype reverse dies that featured sharply detailed, deeply incised tail feathers on the eagle, a diagnostic difference that went unnoticed for years until collectors carefully compared reverse designs and realized these early strikes were entirely different from later circulation issues, instantly transforming an overlooked dollar coin into a four-figure collectible with certified examples routinely selling for thousands of dollars depending on condition, strike quality, and eye appeal, followed closely by the 2000p Sacagawea dollars struck on experimental planchets, including examples accidentally minted on quarter-dollar clad planchets or on manganese brass blanks of improper weight, which are extremely rare and highly prized due to their connection to the U.S. Mint's testing phase for the new golden dollar alloy, while the 2000D issues also present collector interest through off-metal errors, rotated dies, broad strikes, and dramatic off-center strikes that reveal partial portraits of Sacagawea or clipped edges exposing the minting process. And as the series progressed beyond its debut year, another major category of scarcity emerged in the form of low-mintage circulation strikes from the mid-2000s when public demand for dollar coins collapsed and production numbers dropped sharply, making coins like the 2002p, 2002d, 2003p, 2003d, 2004p, and 2004d far scarcer in high grades than most people realize, especially in mint state 67 and above, where populations are thin and competition among registry collectors pushes auction prices far beyond face value, sometimes into the hundreds of dollars for superbly preserved examples with blazing luster and flawless surfaces, while the later years of the Sacagawea series introduced another layer of collectability through the Native American Dollar program starting in 2009, where each year featured a unique reverse honoring Native American contributions to U.S. history, education, agriculture, governance, and military service. And although these coins were struck primarily for collectors rather than circulation, certain dates and mint mark combinations remain elusive in top condition, particularly satin finish examples from mint sets and low population proofs that show exceptional contrast, sharpness, and strike definition, adding further depth to the series for advanced collectors. And beyond intentional designs and mintages, Sacagawea dollars are also known for spectacular mint errors such as double strikes that show overlapping images of the portrait, die clashes where ghostly outlines of reverse elements appear on the obverse, grease-filled dies creating missing details on Sacagawea's hair or facial features, and dramatic partial color errors that produce coins with uneven edges and distorted rims, all of which command strong premiums depending on severity and visual impact. While another intriguing error category includes transitional composition. Mistakes where planchets intended for other denominations were accidentally fed into dollar coin presses, resulting in wrong weight, wrong metal Sacagawea dollars that immediately stand out during authentication, and in the auction world, these rarities have proven that the Sacagawea dollar is far from a modern afterthought, with record prices being achieved for top-grade Cheerios dollars, experimental planchet strikes, and unique error coins that tell a powerful story of innovation, cultural recognition, and the unpredictable nature of minting large quantities of coinage. And as collectors continue to reassess modern U.S. coins with fresh eyes, the Sacagawea dollar has steadily gained respect as a series that rewards patience, knowledge, and careful examination, proving that even coins many people still overlook in change drawers or bankrolls can hold remarkable value when rarity, condition, and historical context align in just the right way. The Sacagawea $1 coin occupies a uniquely symbolic and often misunderstood position in modern American numismatics, representing not just a circulating coin but a broader cultural effort to rethink how the United States honors its historical figures, narratives, and identities through currency, and by the time this golden-colored dollar reached the hands of the public, it had already carried decades of debate, artistic experimentation, political compromise, and public expectation. Because unlike previous dollar coins that focused on presidents or abstract ideals, this issue placed a Native American woman at the center of national imagery, portraying Sacagawea not as a mythic figure or distant symbol but as a real historical guide whose role in the Lewis and Clark expedition helped shape the westward expansion of the nation. And the decision to depict her carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste was intentional, signaling themes of guidance, resilience, motherhood, and cultural bridge-building rather than conquest or power, which immediately set the coin apart from earlier U.S. coinage traditions that often emphasized authority, military strength, or political leadership. And from a production standpoint, the coin also marked a significant shift because it replaced the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar while retaining a similar size but introducing a distinctive manganese brass-clad composition that gave it a warm golden hue, a choice made deliberately to avoid confusion with quarters and to give the coin a visual identity strong enough to stand on its own in circulation. Yet despite extensive planning, massive mintages, and one of the largest promotional campaigns in U.S. mint history, the Sacagawea dollar faced immediate challenges upon release, including resistance from a public accustomed to paper dollar bills, logistical reluctance from banks and retailers, and a broader cultural inertia that had already doomed several modern dollar coin efforts before it, and this tension between symbolic success and practical failure became one of the defining characteristics of the coin's legacy, because while millions were struck annually and distributed through mint sets, rolls, and promotional giveaways, very few actually entered everyday commerce, causing the coin to live a dual existence as both a circulating denomination in theory and a collector-focused issue in practice. And over time this dynamic reshaped how collectors approached the series, shifting attention away from circulation wear and toward mint state examples, satin finish coins, experimental planchets, and early die varieties, while also elevating the importance of design changes introduced later through the Native American $1 coin program, which retained Sacagawea's portrait on the obverse but transformed the reverse annually to honor specific contributions of Native American tribes and individuals, effectively turning the coin into an evolving historical canvas that expanded its educational value and long-term relevance. And within this context, the Sacagawea dollar became less about immediate spending utility and more about narrative continuity, reflecting how modern U.S. coinage increasingly serves commemorative and cultural roles alongside its monetary function. And collectors who study the series deeply often note how the coin captures a transitional moment in American numismatics, where the mint began prioritizing storytelling, inclusivity, and public engagement, even as it struggled with the economic realities of circulating coin adoption. And this contrast makes the Sacagawea dollar especially compelling because it highlights the limits of design excellence alone in shaping public behavior, showing that even a well-researched, artistically praised, and symbolically powerful coin can face resistance when it conflicts with entrenched habits. Yet paradoxically, this same resistance helped preserve many examples in pristine condition, contributing to the abundance of high-grade specimens available today while simultaneously elevating the significance of true errors, experimental strikes, and low-survival anomalies that occurred during the early production years. And as the decades pass, the Sacagawea dollar continues to gain recognition not for its commercial success but for its role in redefining what American coinage could represent, standing as a bridge between traditional circulating money and modern narrative-driven numismatic art. And it is within this layered historical, cultural, and production-driven framework that the coin's deeper rarity stories, mint errors, and standout high-value examples truly begin to emerge. Continuing the deep dive into the Sacagawea dollar's most valuable and elusive side, this final stretch focuses entirely on the rarities, errors, condition sensitivities, and real-world market behavior that turn an ordinary golden dollar into a serious collector prize, because while millions of Sacagawea dollars were struck for circulation, only a very small fraction carry the traits that push values from face value into hundreds, thousands, or even five-figure territory, beginning with the legendary 2000p Cheerios dollar, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance yet stands as one of the most important modern U.S. coin rarities ever discovered, identifiable by the enhanced tail feather detail on the reverse eagle that differs sharply from standard production coins, with deeply sculpted, sharply defined feathers that were later simplified for mass circulation, making this variety the holy grail of the entire series, often selling for several $1,000s in circulated condition and reaching well over $25,000 in top-graded mint-state examples, followed closely by the 2000p Wounded Eagle error, where a die gouge creates the appearance of a spear piercing the eagle's breast, a dramatic and instantly recognizable error that collectors chase aggressively, regularly commanding $1,500 to $6,000 depending on condition and eye appeal, while also drawing interest from error coin specialists who see it as a textbook example of dramatic die damage. Then moving into the experimental planchet issues that quietly slipped into production during the year 2000, including Sacagawea dollars struck on quarter-size planchets, foreign planchets, or even transitional alloy errors that weigh incorrectly and display unusual color or edge characteristics, some of which have sold for five figures at auction due to their extreme rarity and undeniable authenticity, especially when certified by PCGS or NGC, while proof issues from San Francisco introduce another layer of complexity, as deep cameo contrast, flawless fields, and razor-sharp devices dramatically affect value, with perfect PR70 examples often selling for many multiples of lower-graded proofs, especially when tied to low mintage years or special finishes like burnished or enhanced proofs, and beyond headline errors. Condition rarity plays a massive role in Sacagawea dollar values because these coins were widely used, mishandled, and stored poorly, meaning true gem examples graded MS68 or higher are astonishingly scarce for many dates, and registry-set collectors will pay extraordinary premiums for even common dates in elite condition, sometimes exceeding $2,000 for coins that appear identical to pocket change at lower grades, while certain later-year issues from the Native American Dollar Continuation series add their own sleeper rarities, including double dies, off-center strikes, missing edge lettering, inverted edge lettering, and misaligned dies that escaped quality control, each telling a story of mechanical failure at the mint and offering collectors tangible evidence of the minting process itself. And as the market has matured, collectors have become increasingly educated, driving demand for authenticated varieties while pushing prices upward for coins with strong provenance, original mint packaging, and clean certification history. And when auction records are examined closely, a clear pattern emerges showing that rarity plus story equals value, because coins like the Cheerios dollar or Wounded Eagle are not just scarce, they are memorable, easily explained, and visually distinctive, making them ideal centerpieces for collections and museum displays alike. And looking ahead, many experts believe that high-grade business strike Sacagawea dollars from low-demand years may become the next wave of breakout rarities as collectors shift focus from classic silver and gold toward modern numismatics, especially as younger collectors enter the hobby through coins they remember from childhood, giving the Sacagawea dollar a unique generational appeal that blends history, artistry, cultural significance, and modern minting innovation into a single series that continues to surprise even seasoned experts, proving that value is not always about age or precious metal content but about scarcity, condition, and the human stories embedded in metal. And whether you're searching through rolls, studying auction catalogs, or building a long-term collection, the Sacagawea dollar stands as a powerful reminder that modern coins can still deliver genuine treasure to those who look closely enough, think critically enough, and appreciate the artistry and history behind every strike, because in the world of numismatics, even the newest chapters can become legends when rarity and meaning align. And that is exactly why the Sacagawea dollar has earned its place among the most fascinating modern U.S. coin series ever produced. Thanks for watching.